Hello everyone, in this video we'll discuss about degree of freedom. Now degree of freedom is actually the minimum number of independent coordinates which we must describe, minimum independent and coordinates which we must describe if we want to determine the position of all the parts of the system at any instant, or maybe we want to describe a system. So we need some independent coordinates, the minimum independent coordinates, that is termed as the degree of freedom. Now there are three types of degree of freedom. Single degree of freedom, as the name suggests, these systems they require one independent coordinate to describe their motion or position at any instant of time. Now here we have got three examples. The first one is of a single spring mass system. So to describe the motion of the system, we need only one coordinate, which is the linear displacement of spring of the mass, right? Which will of course cause the movement of the spring. The second one is the torsional system. In this we have got a bar which has got a heavy disc attached its end. So to describe its motion we need one coordinate, that is theta, and it is an independent coordinate. If we take the case of a simple pendulum, there are two ways to describe the degree of freedom of pendulum. One is the angle theta, which the pendulum makes with the vertical, and the other one is the coordinates of the mass attached at the end of the string x and y, right? So you'll say x and y, these are two different coordinates, but these are not independent coordinates because x square plus y square is equal to L square, right? So they are actually connected coordinates. So to describe the motion of pendulum, we need either angle theta or x or y. Out of these two, only one will be used as an independent coordinate. So these are the systems that need only one single independent coordinate to describe them at any time instant. So after 1 degree of freedom, there may be systems that have 2 degree of freedom. That means they require two independent coordinates to describe them. They may have 3 degree of freedom where they require three independent coordinates to describe them, and so on. So the systems that require two or more coordinates to describe their motion or their position at any instant of time are called as the multi-degree of freedom. So for any finite number of degree of freedom, we call it a multi-degree of freedom system. So here we have taken two examples. This first example is for the 2 degree of freedom system. In this you can see that there are two masses and two springs. So to describe the system, we need two displacements, two linear displacements x1 and x2. So at any instant of time, these x1 and x2, they are independent of each other and they describe the motion of the system. Or in case if we take, let's say, three masses and three springs, so the movement, this linear displacement or linear movement of three masses, they describe the motion or position of the system, and all these three components, they are independent of each other. Now most of the systems, they have got finite degree of freedom. But in cases when elastic members are used and the systems have continuously distributed masses, their degree of freedom becomes infinite, right? For example, if we take the case of a cantilever beam and we assume that the whole beam is made up of infinite point masses. So for every point mass, if we talk about the bending of this cantilever beam, for every point there is one so for every point there is one coordinate that is specifying the deflection or the bending. So if there are infinite point masses, that means they'll require infinite number of coordinates to specify its deflection or the bending. So all these structural systems, or I should say most of these structural systems or the machines which have got the deformable members, they have got the infinite degree of freedom.